All right. Thank you guys all so much for hopping on here today and for being part of this webinar. I'm super, super excited to go over some of these things with you guys. And we are going to cover today the 3-part confident sales formula. So what that means for all of you is that we are going to go into 3 different things that I feel are super important for a profitable online business. And this is specifically created for coaches and creatives. And so that also means too, if you're an MLM type of coach, so whether you're a Beachbody coach or a essential oils coach or a health and wellness coach, whatever that looks like for you, this is applicable to you as well. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew that and that you guys were comfortable also being here. So it looks like we have a few other things hopping on, other people hopping on. Here's the video. I can see you guys now on Facebook. Apparently I don't even know where I'm live, but we're live someplace on Facebook. Okay, so I wanted to let you guys know that you are in the right place if you've been in nonstop hustle mode, wanting, and you've been craving and really wishing that you could have a kid-tested, husband-approved business plan instead of spending every waking moment glued to your phone with nothing to really show for it, meaning you're not getting any sales. You're starting to feel frustrated and burned out. You're ready to stop playing small and start standing out and becoming known for the leader in your industry, known for the leader in what you do. You want to become that go-to person. You want to start overcoming your self-doubt, fears, and roadblocks. You want to start growing a business instead of just participating in an expensive hobby. You have something inside of you that is like so deep in your soul that you know that you're meant for more than wiping boogers and folding laundry. For those of you guys who know me, you know that's basically my tagline. You also have something inside of you that you just can't keep in. It's something that you feel so compelled to share that you just can't keep putting it on the shelf. You can't keep, you feel like pulled to share it. You feel pulled and compelled to keep telling people and to keep talking to people about it and to keep sharing it, whatever that is. And you want to leverage this to create freedom in your life. Well, hold on. You guys don't actually need that. My goal for this training is to provide, if not over-deliver, but to definitely provide all of the topics with proven strategy, no bippity-boppity-boo type of magic. You guys, you are the magic. You are your own fairy godmothers. You just have to look within and see that for yourselves. We're going to have a little bit of fun while we're at it. We're going to, we might have a few laughs or a few chuckles. So that's okay too. You're allowed to have fun even when you're talking about sales strategy. So again, this is all going to be talking about, proven tactics, proven strategy. I do love a good, round of woo-woo stuff. We do Woo-Woo Wednesday every week in my group, but this is about strategy. There is some parts about belief and confidence and knowing what you're made of and doing some mindset stuff, but it's like I said, it's no bippity boppity boo. You're going to turn into a pumpkin at midnight type of thing. It's none of that. Okay, so today we are going to dive deep into the 3 roadblocks that keep you from attracting sales and preventing you from becoming the girl you visualized yourself to be when you first started this journey. We're going to talk also about how to magnetize and attract your ideal clients. Now, these are your ideal dream clients, right? The people that you really, really, really look forward to getting on the phone with, the people that you love speaking to when you're on the phone. And you're going to be able to do this without feeling spammy, without having to think about doing those hey girl messages that, you know, they used to work a while back in like 2012. But as, you know, as technology evolves, we need to evolve too. I mean, there was a time that we didn't sell online. It was all in-home parties and things like that. But now we are moving over into a new wave. Nobody likes getting the hey girl messages. In fact, I think I got one just today. And nobody really likes to get those. There's just like, oh, this person doesn't even, like, why did they even send me a friend request? Why didn't they just send me a cold message if they were just going to cold message me? That's how people are feeling today. So instead, how would it feel to have those people, those ideal dream clients, sending you a hey girl message like, hey girl, I saw that you do this thing, XYZ. I saw that you're a coach or a mentor or a provider of, you know, and then insert what you do or sell. I'd love to work together. How awesome would it be if you were getting messages just in opposite, right? That you are being sought after. Then we're going to talk about how to break the cycle that you're currently stuck in. So think about that little hamster. You know, you see the hamster in the wheel and he's going as fast as he can and he's not really gaining any ground, and he's not, you know, he's not getting any brag-worthy results or any results really, but those are the results that you crave. So we're going to say goodbye to the hamster, or at least to the hamster wheel. It's kind of like running on a treadmill, I guess, if you're an actual grown-up. Looks like my Facebook stream has died, which is okay, I guess. So what I need from all of you guys to do today is I want you guys to grab a cup of coffee or a cup of wine or whatever it is that you plan to drink at this time of day. Sit down, find a cozy spot on the couch or any place that's comfortable. Get ready to take some notes, grab a pen, a pencil, a crayon, whatever it is that you like to write with. Silence your phone, turn off your TV. This is where you guys, we're going to do, you can ask as many questions as you'd like in the chat. That's completely fine. I have my laptop open and I will be answering the questions. I'm just checking on you guys now. Okay, so I do have the chat open. Anybody who wants to ask anything along the way, I will be referencing over to the chat. Also, oh, looks like we're getting chats now. Hi, hello everybody. I would love to have you guys pop in and tell me where you guys are watching from today. And let's see where we have people located, because that is always a ton of fun. Move this over here so I can see you better. I want you guys to put on your creative learning cap and be ready to learn some really, really cool new concepts and strategy. Remember, this is probably nothing new that you've ever heard, but success leaves clues. Those who are successful in business, they spend time focused on what they're working on at the time, not multitasking. So that's why I'm sharing all of this stuff with you guys, and also why I would like you guys to do your best to not get super, super distracted along the way. I know a lot of you guys are moms, and that's almost virtually impossible, but bear with me. Also, I have a special bonus gift for you guys who stick around until the end today. We've got a lot to cover, and I just wanted to give you guys something extra as a bonus, as my way to say thank you to all of you. Okay. So, if you can see the girl here who's kind of like in the background of this, have you ever thought, or have you guys ever tried to build like a piece of like IKEA furniture or anything that, you know, that some assembly required, kids furniture, toys, whatever, and maybe you were missing the instructions, or maybe you were missing a couple of pieces, or maybe if you're like me at all, you were missing like 1 or 2 bolts at the end, or maybe you had extra bolts at the end. But imagine if you had somebody who, okay, even if those things were missing, but imagine if you had somebody who could guide you through it. Somebody you could ask questions about, what do you do with these extra pieces? What's the next step? What do I do with this piece over here? It doesn't really line up. How do you get this thing to fit in this little slot? It's just not working. If you guys are anything like me, you wanted to take a hammer to it at the end, even though no hammers were required. So I want you guys to think about that. Think about that, and now kind of use that metaphorically and connect that over into your business. Okay? Think about it in a place of, you know, your business is that thing, and maybe you do have, you know, you have all this instruction manual because maybe you downloaded it from a freebie, this blueprint or roadmap or whatever, but you're missing some pieces. You just can't seem to figure out how to get this thing put together and how to make it work functionally and safely and do what it is that it's designed to do. That's a lot of the reason why a lot of people hire a coach or a teacher. You know, you think about somebody who goes to culinary school. They want to come out and learn how to, you know, I watch all kinds of cooking shows. I watch Nailed It, and I watch all the holiday baking shows and all of those types of shows. You guys, those people spent so much time in school that they've become expert pastry chefs. They know how to make a cake inside and out. They are not making the cakes that you see people like me posting on, you know, like the before and afters, the Pinterest people, you know, they are, you know, they're not doing that. They know that the ingredients go in a certain way. They know that if you crack the eggs on top and put it in the oven, that what you're going to get out is not a cake, even though all the ingredients are there. So I want you guys to think about your business in a lot that way, like it's a cake, that if you do things in a certain progression, then you're going to have a beautiful cake. It's going to be cooked all the way through. It's going to taste delicious. But if you put those ingredients in all in like a hodgepodge order and you crack the eggs on top, what you're going to get out of the oven is definitely not going to be a cake that you want to eat or decorate or share or sell or anything like that. Okay, but these people had teachers. They had people to teach them along the way how to perfectly bake a cake and then how to perfectly decorate it. If you guys have seen some of these people, how they decorate with the pulled sugar and all of that stuff, it's incredible. But somebody helped them learn that. So maybe, you know, going back to the IKEA furniture, maybe you could have built it perfectly, even without the instructions. Maybe you could have pieced it together, you know, with YouTube or, you know, found a downloadable or something on the internet. But typically when you do those things in your business, it is the instant fast track to frustration and complete burnout. Trust me, I know I thought that I was going to be immune from this. And last fall I was diagnosed with adrenal fatigue. So totally not fun. All right, so you guys are coming to me from all over. I've got Dayton, Ohio, Alicia. I've got Catherine in Valdosta, Georgia, Carrie in Kansas City. I've got, oh my goodness, we're international. We've got Canada, we've got Virginia. Woo, yeah, Carrie knows about my little secret love of Nailed It. I'm going to be on that show, you guys. Mark my words. One of these days, I'm going to be on that show. All right, you guys. So let me ask you this. How do you really want to run your business? You can go ahead and type this into the chat as well. How do you really want it to go? You want the busted up IKEA fail or the Pinterest fail or whatever, or you want the professionally delivered furniture, the professionally delivered version? Yeah, me too. I love to have my furniture delivered. I don't assemble anything. So why are you guys here? Who the heck am I? I'm Amie. Hello, hello. I'm here from San Diego. This is a picture of my little family on our little San Diego farm with our little tractor. So clearly you can see that I'm a wife, I'm a mother. I don't know if we're more of a petting zoo or a farm, but I call myself an urban farmer. I'm the business owner of 2 businesses. I have a 10-year-old electrical company that I'm the co-owner of. And then I also have, obviously, this coaching business. I'm a serial student and a total nerd. I'm also the host of the Moms Making Money show, which Women Entrepreneur magazine said that I was actually the celebrity host of, so I thought that was pretty nice of them to say. I'm also an unapologetic optimist and a lover of cowboy boots. So, startup. When you first started and you saw the opportunity to join the business that you're in, what is it that made you sign up? So like for me, I saw that it was, oh, it's a $39 or $40 sign up, whatever it was at the time when I became a health coach years and years ago. This was back in like 2010. I saw that as like an opportunity, like, hell yeah, I can grow this $1 million business and I can do all these amazing things for $40. Yeah, heck yeah, sign me up. So a lot of you guys can probably relate to that. And type into the comments if you guys are with an MLM or what you guys do independently. Then you guys, so you got signed up, you got all the things, you got your startup kit if you're an MLM, or you conceived this beautiful idea and you decided, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show up on Facebook, because I don't think even like, well, maybe if you were recently started, but for me, I just decided I was going to show up on Facebook. I was going to share this generic link to my health coaching MLM page that didn't have my pic. I don't even think I had my picture on it. I don't even know if at that time it had the ability to have my picture on it. It was not customized in such a way that it was like, oh, look at this lady. She has this really nice personalized website. And, it didn't tell hardly anything about me. Or, so I would go online and I would just post this link like, hey, by the way, I'm a business owner. You want to buy my stuff? And I thought that was going to make me a millionaire. I thought that I was going to be, drinking margaritas or mojitos is probably more my style on the beach somewhere. Because at the time I wasn't married. And living that laptop lifestyle, earning all the big bucks and, taking all these free, all-inclusive paid trips. That's what I thought when I signed up. I thought it was going to be just that easy. Just pay the $40, share the link in a few places, and boom, everybody I know was going to be running in as fast as they can with their credit cards out like, oh, I see the beauty in this. I want to buy it too. How many of you guys thought that? How many of you guys thought it was going to be so easy? Yep, that's what you thought too? You thought it'd be that easy? Yeah. Was it? Did you feel like that was how it actually happened? So yes, I paid the $40. Yes, I shared the link. Yes, I admit with my head hung in shame, I sent the hey girl messages, those copy and paste spammy hey girls. I stalked every top earner in my upline and, like every post and hundreds of YouTube videos that she created, which she's still kicking butt, by the way, this person who I was stalking. Even while I was at my day job, I was sometimes like listening to or watching these videos kind of in the background instead of listening to music. I have filled my inbox with an entire graveyard of freebies that I will never use. Half of them, I can't even remember where they came from, who they came from. I have probably an infinite supply of blueprints, roadmaps, checklists, whatever, that I've never even used, that I've never even opened. Does that sound familiar to you guys? So then I started to panic a little bit because I started to feel defeated. I started to feel like this is never going to work. I'm doing all the things. I'm doing these, step-by-step behaviors that my back office told me to do. And I'm just getting nowhere. I just wish I could ask somebody questions for clarification. Because that's one thing. You can get infinite access to all these YouTube videos. You can read a checklist until you wear a hole in the paper. But you can't ask anybody for clarification. Those people on YouTube, unless they're your direct upline or the people who get those freebie from, typically if you're not working with them directly or paying them to work with them, they're not overly excited about giving you free coaching, which is kind of weird because that's what a lot of you guys, myself included, had been taught to do, is just coach all of these clients for free and eventually they'll buy from you. Also, let me hop back over here to the thread. I knew leadership in it would take work. Yep. I did a lot of research before joining. Thankfully, I have good. I'm glad you have that synergy. That's amazing. That is amazing, Elisa. Okay, so then after thinking about quitting, I gave myself a little pep talk. I was like, all right, self, all you have to do is hustle harder, work more, stay up later, get up earlier. This is when that whole idea like of actually getting like an IV of coffee dripping into my veins like sounded like a legitimate thing at the time. But you can really truly only drink so much coffee. I would implement some of the things that I found that did work for me. Lots and lots of painful trial and error over the years. And I did make some money. I did make money. By the time I got around to having my second child, I no longer felt like I wanted to do health and fitness. Even though I'm a certified clinical nutritionist, I just was not in love with working out. And therefore, I just felt like I had really no business teaching other people or trying to sell other people on fitness. I also knew that my true calling was business. And having a degree in business, having had worked in business mentorship in my corporate career, I don't know, for 13 years, I believe it was by the time I left, that was something that I could do second nature in my sleep. And it just made sense to me. I was like, duh, it took me a while to figure this out. But once I finally figured it out, it made sense. Then, how many of you guys try to show up as poly perfect? You know, trying to do all the things. What society expects of us to do. You know, you have to have a clean house. The laundry should always be put away. Perfectly hosted parties, especially at like Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, those types of things. Perfectly toned, bounced back body after having babies. It's like society expects us to work like we don't have kids and raise kids like we don't work. How many of you guys can relate? Just put a number 1 in the chat box or any sort of indicator in the chat box so I can see if anybody else gets that or has ever experienced feeling that type of pressure. So as I stepped back into my passion, as I realized that business was my thing, I started to step into what I was actually passionate about. I started to show up in a different way. I started to show up in a way that didn't really feel, you know, quote unquote icky. You know what I mean? Like I really felt that what I had was something that could help people, something that could help anyone, right? Especially having had come from a very male-dominated space, helping start construction companies and grow those and that type of thing. It took me a while before I could really get into, you know, that I had an ideal client. It took me a while. You know, I'd heard it and I'd heard it and I'd heard it, but it took me a while. I eventually decided I wanted to start a movement. So I started the Moms Making Money brand. I started the Moms Making Money show. And I really started talking to women about being confident, not apologizing, and not being laden with guilt as they're growing a business, because so many of us carry that mom guilt or just regular guilt around because we've been shamed in some way. Mom shaming is a huge thing, huge. So once I got into that and I got into my group, that's when I started making some money. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about your goals. So you guys can post in the thread. We're going to come back to this later. So you can either post it in the thread or you can write it down in your notebook. I want you guys to think about some of your immediate goals for the next 3 to 12 months. So maybe you have a 3-month goal or a 6-month goal that you already know about, whatever that looks like for you. Okay. Maybe it's that you want to grow your MLM company. You want to grow your team by 1, 3, 5, 10 people. Maybe it's 1 person a month. So in the next 12 months, you want to grow your team by 12 people. Maybe it's that you would like to have $500 a month extra, or $1,000 a month, or $10,000 a month. Maybe you'd like to create and launch your own course and your own offer. Whatever that, maybe you'd like to plan an event, whatever that looks like for you. I want you to decide. So whatever those goals are, whatever it is that you feel, I have some notes I wanted to share. Oh, there. Whatever it is that you wrote down, I want you to decide. I want you to decide right now, declare it to the world, to the universe, God, whatever it is that you believe. I want you to declare it that you are making the decision to change your situation, okay? So deciding what I wanted to offer was a huge game changer for me. So going from, you know, a new mom struggling to be a fitness coach because I was struggling to be fit, going into the identity now of a business coach, which for some reason I felt like that was a bit of a challenge, even though that's what my career was and I had done it successfully for years and years and years. Making that transition was still scary. These things are still scary, you guys. All right, some of you guys want to quit your day job, $500 a month? Yeah, loving it. Okay. So learning who I was serving, because even though I had it in my mind that, well, I've helped men and I've helped women, and women and men can both own construction companies, well, men and women can still start online businesses. I really had a lot better time when I narrowed that gap. Because really working with every woman or every person in the online space, every person is not for me, and I am not for every person. My teaching style is going to be different for every person. And not everybody's going to like the way I teach. Not everybody's going to like the things I say. Not everybody is going to agree that I think that a woman who feels like she's meant for more than wiping boogers and folding laundry should pursue her dreams. Those are not my customers, okay? And I want you guys to be able to get on board with saying, not my client, not my ideal client. It's okay, like bless and release. So, you know, just allowing myself to follow the nudges of intuition that really felt good. So I feel like now I get, you know, I call them nudges. You know, it's, some people call it women's intuition, mother's intuition, whatever, but just that intuitive nudge that is making you think of something, making you desire something. For me, I say that that is the universe pushing me towards my destiny, pushing me towards fate. So, you know, there's a lot of different words that we can use for what everybody believes, which, you know, everybody's got their own different beliefs. But for me, that's what I feel, that I needed to allow myself to follow those nudges. And so far, they haven't let me down. I decided I was also no longer going to force something because it's something that I thought I should do, or maybe even something that somebody told me I should do. We're going to get into how that helped me up a little bit in just a little bit. So once I decided, I got the design of a website, you know, in my head. Well, I thought that that had to be done before I could open my doors. So that was a 3-month delay in starting my business. And that was a mistake. I should have opened my doors and I should have started my business even before I spent that 3 months at the end of 2017 waiting for my website to be designed. Okay. So if you guys don't have a website, what I'm telling you is it's okay. Get started, get talking, get connecting. So I thought that was going to be the best way for interaction with clients, but you know, lesson learned, no big deal. Now I have this amazing podcast, and interestingly enough, that has been nothing but fun and ease and flow, and almost every single week we've had an episode without fail. It's, the books are always full for it. There's been nothing hard about the podcast. There's been nothing hard about it at all. And it's so much fun speaking to these other women. It's so much fun highlighting and featuring them, teaching you guys new things, coming up with new topics. That is fun, you guys. So I'm telling you guys this because I want you guys to know that there are parts of your business that are going to be work, but there are also parts of your business that you can enjoy so much that they don't even feel like work. Now, you know, going back to once I decided, now I'm building a 6-figure business. It was either last week or the week before, I had a $9,000 day, $9,000 in sales in one day, you guys. And, you know, I've been having, you know, higher months, $17,000 months. all because I decided to make a change. I decided to follow those nudges. I'm always, like I mentioned earlier, I'm a serial student. I'm a total nerd. And I went all in. I went in myself and with my business. And the reason I'm telling you guys about the student part of that is because I went all in with learning. I tried to soak up everything, right? So it wasn't until I hired a coach, though, that I actually got some clear focus, okay? So becoming the coach for Moms Making Money was a pivotal point for me. This is when I hired the coach. This is when I decided I'm no longer doing health coaching at all. I don't health coach anybody except like my kids, or sometimes I'll get on my sister's case for eating something she shouldn't, but that's what sisters do, and that's what moms do. But I don't health coach at all. I've kind of hung my hat with that. I'm not focused on that. I'm not taking any clients for that. I'm not trying to get every man or woman into my email list or into my groups for that matter. I don't, even I look back, and at one point I thought that my upline for my mastermind was going to be a certain person. I didn't relate to him. So I ended up having to switch to a different coach, and that ended up working out just fine. But I didn't relate to what it was like to be a dad and what it was like to be a man who shed weight quickly. I just couldn't relate to that. So that's kind of the same with my business too. I don't relate in a lot of ways to being a man. I don't relate in a lot of ways to doing certain things. However, I do know how a lot of times men think when it comes to growing a business, because I've worked specifically in construction in that very masculine field, okay? But I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to work in that industry. I no longer take on clients who are not aligned soulmate dream clients. If I can tell someone's gonna be super low vibe or problematic, I will tell them no. And you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys probably have people, especially if you're in an MLM, who they want to do your stuff so bad and they want to do it and they want to do it, but then the sky is falling and they just can't afford it because this happened and that happened and all these terrible things. And you know who I'm talking about. So they can't buy your shake, or they can't try your product, and they just don't have the time to do the workout and, all that stuff. So then we have to think about people pleasing. We try to do everything we can to keep everybody happy all the time. And I put here on the very first line that you're not a dog, so stop, right? The reason I tell you that is because I have this amazing lab, and his name is Gretzky. When he was a puppy, we went to puppy school, and the trainer told me he is the best dog because he is so eager to please his people. So every time I think about people pleasing, I think about that. I think about how my dog was told, like I was told that my dog is the perfect dog because he was a people pleaser. So I encourage you, don't be like Gretzky and don't be a people pleaser. Know that it's okay to set boundaries. Know that it's okay to say no if you really don't want to do something. Also know that if you are speaking to everyone, that you are attracting no one. I'm sure you guys have heard that line before. It's true. So this is where you insert that fast track to burnout, and burnout is no fun. So this is, being in constant hustle mode, going and going and going and going until you're so frustrated that you basically can't go anymore, and you are so tired, and maybe you are sick from being so tired. That's not what you guys signed up for. Nobody signed up to be on the fast track to burnout. Nobody signed up to feel like crap 6, 9, 12 months into their business, right? That wasn't the plan. That wasn't the vision when we said, yes, I want to be part of this amazing opportunity. Yes, I want to follow my dream. That's not part of the dream, you guys. So with some soul searching and support, I was able to really get specific on my niche. And this is where you've probably also heard the riches are in the niches. And it's true. It's true. Within 10 months of starting my business last year, I had my first $17,000 month. And it was so easy. We'd come off this really great high from being in Cabo at our VIP days. I'd made some great connections, and it was so much fun. And through those connections and these really great conversations that had continued, you know, and not, you know, I'm not saying this $17,000 came from every person who went to the VIP day, but my vibe was still so high in those conversations of people who were asking about the VIP day and who were on board with that, you know, frequency of my high vibe. They were like, yeah, I'll have what she's having, like, sign me up. And so, and I think this was actually this first $17,000 happened within about a 2-week period of time. So I want you guys to follow your heart. I feel like my nudges, you know, I always say that they're nudges from the universe. I feel like they are coming from like my heart, or some people tell me it's my heart chakra, right? And so I followed my heart, and it has opened up the doors to the program, like to my mastermind and to the programs that I've been creating for you guys. And at the beginning, I was doing all the, well, you should do this, and you should do that, and you should do this, and you should do that. And I had somebody tell me, don't start your mastermind. You never start a business with a mastermind. You have to do one-on-one coaching first. And while I've grown to really love one-on-one coaching, I was like blocking myself at the beginning because I had this mastermind in my heart. And don't worry, I'm not going to be talking to you guys about that program tonight, but I had this in my heart, and I wanted to share it so badly, but it was like somebody had like crushed my little dream and my vision. And so I was like working around that obstacle, and turns out that was my signature offer. It was the thing that before I ever started this business, that at like a soul level, I was so excited about creating. I was so excited about sharing. I freaking love that program. Once I created it, that was the thing that I was able to get people to really be like, oh, this thing sounds freaking amazing. And it is. I'm going to sign up. And that was when I first opened the doors, officially opened the doors, not like as a beta, but officially opened the doors for my highest level mastermind. A couple of other things is I want you guys to remember to stay coachable. I allowed myself to remain coachable. I took advice. I asked a ton. I still ask my coaches a ton of questions. I paired this new knowledge and some new skills and confidence with inspired action. And it was aligned action that felt good. I'm also what I call myself, and what I call a lot of you guys, I'm a doer. I do the things. I'm not a procrastinator. I'm a doer. And so I go, and I go all in. And then boom, the sales started happening. So I'd love to know, type yes in the comments if you also are a doer. If you are ready to learn and start taking massive aligned action, because we are going to learn that today. I will also be telling you guys at the end of this a little bit more about a way that we can take all these lessons that you're learning and really amplify those. So I just wanted to forewarn you that there is an hour-ish of amazing free content and actual implementable training here, but there will be an offer at the end, and it's an exclusive offer. So I just wanted to let you guys know that if you don't want an hour's worth of value, you may want to hop off here. Also, yeah, I see some yeses and some doers. Love that. Also, anybody who is from the middle of nowhere with a marriage proposal, I get those sometimes in my inbox. This is probably not for you either, since I'm married. All right, this is where we're going to dig in. We are going to talk about the 3 roadblocks. And I found these little guys. I thought they were so cute, so I thought I'd share them with you guys. Blocking the road. So roadblock number 1. I feel like in the online space, we lack connection. Okay, so this is a picture of my 2 beautiful clients and they were actually pushing me in this cart. It was really funny at our last VIP weekend. And I selected this particular image because we had such a great time. We had such a great connection, and we had so much fun. but we have a genuine connection with each other. And that connection, for me, connection makes all the difference. So I thought I would share that because I thought it was a fun picture, and we had a fun time. So with connection, this is where you start off by creating the "I'll have what she's having" effect. Obviously, I didn't come up with that line. It's from the movie and Meg Ryan said it. But thinking about that, think about, even going back to that movie when she first said it. I'll have what she's having. That's what we all want. When you see somebody who lost 30 pounds of baby weight and they made it look so easy, you basically tell yourself, even though you may not say those words, I'll have what she's having, you're like, yeah, whatever you're doing, sign me up. I'll do it. So it's not about hearing about that, oh, I have this thing, and it's not about the superfoods. It's not about, 30 days of, of workouts. It's not about the number of pages in a workbook. It's about the connection. It's about the connection that you have with that person, okay? Real connection is such a huge part of being in business, or at least staying in business. It's the thing that I feel like so many of us are craving, even if you don't really know it yet. We spend so much time, behind these computer screens and on our phones that we lose out on some of that connection, even though it's really weird because social media, we feel like we're staying in touch without actually staying in touch, but that's just it. We're just kind of observing everybody's lives. We're not connecting in a way that we once used to. Jim Rohn says too, and I love Jim Rohn. He was actually Tony Robbins' mentor, but he says you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you are spending time with all the Chicken Littles of the world and people who are telling you can't do it, I want you to find some new people. I want you to find some new people to surround yourself with more consistently. I want you to find people who are maybe even a step or two ahead of you, who are going to encourage and nurture you forward instead of holding you back. All right, picture this. If you wanted to run a marathon, you would get probably a marathon type of coach. They exist. I have not run a marathon and I have no desire to run one, but I figured this is something that everybody could probably wrap their brain around as far as an example. If you were going to run a marathon, you would hire a coach who has run a marathon, right? Not somebody who's like, oh, well, I've never run a marathon. I'm kind of a self-proclaimed couch potato. But yeah, I can stand out there on the side of the road and cheer you on. I can stand over at the track and clock your time, no big deal. Well, that's not gonna get you across the finish line. Let's be honest. If you hire and maybe you just know somebody who's run a marathon before, even if that coach has only ever run one marathon, even if they're just your friend and they're not a paid coach, right? If they've run one marathon, they are still more experienced than you are, right? They're going to give you advice. They're going to give you tips and tricks, like these are the types of shoes to wear. Don't wear this type of sock because it'll rub and it'll give you a blister. Or, oh, hey, there's this cool stuff that helps you prevent blister. It looks like a deodorant stick for your feet. They're going to give you all those tips. They're going to give you all those tricks. This is what you eat before you go. This is what you eat during. This is what you eat after. Because they've got those little slimy gel pack things that you could take with you. Because 26 miles is a really long way to run, right? So they're going to give you all those advice, tips, tricks, all the things that they've got up their sleeves, right? They're going to even probably tell you the best kind of sunblock to wear that doesn't drip into your eyes and make your eyes burn. They are going to tell you that when the pain comes, because I know that I've run, a couple of miles before, and I felt like the front of my shins were just dead. I felt like they were on fire. And they're going to tell you that those aches and pains are normal. They're going to encourage you to keep going when it feels hard. Kind of much like becoming a new mom, right? Think about this. Who's the first person, that you would probably go to if you had a baby today? Right? For me, it was my coworker who had just had a baby a few months before me. I didn't call my grandmother and be like, hey, Grams, like back, 50 years ago when you had my dad, what kind of formula did you use? Or what kind of diapers did you use? Or what kind of breast pump did you use? Yes, they've done it, but it doesn't mean that they're up to speed. So you call the person who's got a 3, 4, 6 month old baby who's like fresh in the mix and like in it, right? And they've done the things and they're just a few steps ahead of you, and they can tell you, oh my God, I tried so many diapers, but I finally found this one and it was so great. No leaks. It was amazing. Or I finally found this pump and it was amazing because it didn't hurt your boobs, or, it was really, really good, or whatever. They're going to tell you. And they're probably, if they're really your friend, they're not going to hold back. They're going to give you the dead honest truth. And 2, they're going to know all the relevant stuff that's current, right? So I wanted to introduce you guys to the lovely April. This was, so we had our VIP day was March 3rd and 4th. And on March 5th, March 2nd and 3rd. On March 5th, she said, it's only Tuesday, but I've made over $2,000 this week alone, mostly in new clients. You guys talk about, we had an amazing connection, amazing weekend in person. It was awesome. She decided to raise her rates. She decided to get more visible, and look at what she's done. She actually just hosted this workshop over the weekend. And she's on her way to hitting, I think she's pretty close already to hitting her $10,000 this month, you guys, this month. Oh, and we talked about drinking water. So this is just, this is like so recent from just having 2 days of connecting together. So I thought I would share that with you. All right, roadblock number 2, trying to sell everything to everybody. We talk about niching down. Roadblock number 2 is trying to be everything to everybody, and this is a huge mistake for so many of us. Most of us make it, especially when we have a product that we think could help everybody. I feel like if I was strictly in business for essential oils, I would have a very hard time probably niching down, because I feel like essential oils can help every single person, right? But I also know from experience that niching down is the most effective. Hence, again, that saying, the riches are in the niches. So for perfect example, think about your kids' cereal aisle. I think most of you guys on here likely have children. All of these, and this was something I remember I learned about in college, all of these neat guys. So you see this cuckoo bird here, and you see Toucan Sam, and the infamous Captain Crunch, and Tony the Tiger here, right? And then you see this Trix Rabbit and Fred Flintstone. All of these things strategically and scientifically have something in common. The first thing being that all of the characters are looking down. Also, these middle aisles, so there's up here, there's an aisle that's not shown, and then down here is kind of like the boring boxes of, Tostios and different stuff, right? These middle aisles are strategically placed with the character boxes, the bright, colorful boxes. All of these here. It's because they're at the children's eye level, a walking child and a child in a shopping cart. And that's why the characters look down, to be looking straight at your child. It's psychologically proven, and like the marketers of these cereal companies, they have spent so much money researching this, and this is effective. They have merchandising teams. They have, all of this stuff is here this way on purpose. So it's kind of like marketing magic, right? The design of, I don't know why I have that there. The design of the website has to be optimized. That shouldn't be there. So the boxes are, that must have been, I've been having an awful time with technology today, you guys. The boxes are strategically there. Like I said, they are placed at the eye level of the children. The characters are looking downward. This is marketing specifically designed to get little kids in a certain age range, usually probably from about the 4 to probably 10-year-old age range, to beg their parents for these bright colored sugar-filled cartoon boxes, right? But here's the thing. Cereal can be consumed by somebody of any age. In fact, my husband still loves to eat Fruit Loops. And he hates it when I buy like the off-brand, like organic ones. He hates those. He wants the Fruit Loops with the bird, right? So, but they're not marketing to him. He loves those stupid things, but they're not marketing to him. They're marketing to my kids. So do you guys see where I'm going with this? Adults still buy cereal. They buy cereal even if they don't have kids. But they buy that cereal most likely because they loved eating it as a child. This is still an over $264 million a year industry. Over. But they are very niche specific. Very. So if they had, if you think about it, if they just had a regular brown box, you know, that was just plain and boring and had no pictures on it and nothing fun, chances are your kids wouldn't be begging you for it. And it wouldn't be them using their marketing mind tricks, because literally it is marketing mind tricks to get kids in that aisle looking at those cereal boxes and every single aspect that goes into it, right? They wouldn't have the appeal. You guys agree? It's really, really genius from a marketing perspective. But now you're probably like, damn them, I feel like so manipulated into buying these cereals. So the other thing that I want to talk about too is that, and this is something my coach told me not too long ago, and she said it is 100% safe to be you. So when you are so aligned with what you're doing and who you're serving and how you want to present yourself, you can show up completely as yourself, and that's going to attract a wonderful tribe of people to you. These are going to be people that you love showing up and speaking to on a regular, consistent basis. So speaking of tribes, I have my lovely, lovely client, Kimberly, who I adore. And I'm actually also a client of hers. She says, thank you for being a beautiful example. I love that you own your truth and that you are unapologetic about it, and that you share and hold this energy for your soulmate tribe. You are a gift. Oh, thank you, Kimberly. You are a blessing. You are a leader to follow. You inspire me. You empower me by being an example. As an empath, it hasn't always been an easy journey, but one worth journeying. I'm so happy our paths have crossed to bear witness to your journey. I love you to the moon and back. And I don't remember exactly what this post was about, but it was about just being real, being true to my, whatever it was that I was talking about. And that spoke to her. All right, let's get into roadblock number 3, being emotionally detached. So I use emojis because that's just, we live in the world of emojis, and I figured everybody could relate to probably every one of these expressions as a progression of our business, that we've probably gone through the roller coaster of feeling, what are all of these emojis at one point in time? So just for fun, why don't you guys drop the emoji that you're feeling about your business right now in the chat box. So being attached to the outcome. This is like when you get your feelings hurt when somebody tells you no, that, you know, because you've been sending the hey girls and you've been reaching out and doing all the things, and then they tell you no, it's too expensive. No, I don't want your stuff. No, it's a scam. Oh, that's my favorite. It's a scam. Oh, that's a whole nother story. Okay, so a whole other training. But being obsessed also with vanity metrics. So this is getting the likes, getting the comments, getting the follows, like you're refreshing your feed, like did anybody comment on that last post? Because you maybe felt like that last post was gold, right? But then it didn't get any likes, it didn't get any follows, like, oh my God. But let me just tell you, and maybe think about it like this. Would you rather have 2,000 or even 200 fully engaged followers, or 15,000 people who have no interest in what you're doing? Because a lot of people buy those with these bots. Like, and I just learned the other day that you can get a bot of some sort that will do that like, unlike, or follow, unfollow thing on Instagram, which I think is a huge waste of time. I think the whole idea of it makes no sense to me, but it exists. So you could have somebody who has 1 million followers that they bought, and that doesn't mean that they're making any money at all. Where you could have 200 dedicated followers who can't stop buying your stuff, who just love what you have to offer. So, plus, we've all get those marriage proposals from the Middle East. So we don't need any more of those kinds of people who are being bought to be your friends on Facebook, who are, being bought to be your followers on Instagram, where you're getting your inbox full of marriage proposals and all these different things every single day. Wouldn't you rather that be from 200 people, or a portion of that 200 people who want to buy from you? Okay, so these numbers can become obsessive, much like so many times, the number on the scale becomes an obsession for people. The numbers in our, how many people are on our list, how many people clicked our post, how many people saw our video, how many people this and that and liked our comments and whatever. Be honest. How do you feel when you are seeing that one of your posts gets 1,000 comments? You're like, yeah, this one was good. People liked this. But how do you feel when you did have that solid gold piece of content, that amazing tip, trick, or just really inspirational nugget? You were like, did anybody see this? It makes you feel super bad and like, what the hell? So now, being totally honest, look at those emojis. A poo emoji? Oh, no poo emojis. I like Lynn's emoji though. That's probably how I feel today with all this tech stuff. How often are you scrolling? How much time do you spend scrolling as opposed to your business, like your money-making activities? If you're not sure, just be mindful of it over the next couple of days. Are you still in the mindset that you need to add 3 to 5 new quote-unquote friends every day to be profitable? And I use that term friends with the quote because you're just adding people who you're not really friends with. And a lot of times we go in and we add these people and we totally forget about them, or we send them this super, super sleazy generic, like, hey, I'm just so glad to connect. You want to buy my stuff? And people are skeptical about that these days. They're skeptical about taking on new friends. They're skeptical about connecting with new people because they're like, what's this person going to sell me? Okay. So what is the point of 10,000 uninterested friends? I mean, really, what's the point of having 10,000 people who are uninterested? Now, think about your notifications too. How I have my notifications turned off. So I don't know how many emails I have. I don't know how many Facebook comments that I have that are unchecked. I don't know any about my Instagram comments unless I actually open the app. Because seeing like that I had 382 emails, this is not my phone, by the way, but if I saw that I had 382 emails, I would go in there until it said 0. It was just a problem for me. So let's break it down. Okay, yesterday I was on a call with Rachel Hollis. Yay, I love Rachel Hollis. And she broke down some basic math for the group of us that were on the phone. And she basically said that we can grow faster than we think without needing 2 million followers to start increasing our income. This is with basic upsells, referrals, or repeat clients, and that can make all the difference. So my $9,000 day came from a combination of 100% of this was a combination of repeat clients and referrals. That's it. No sales page, no nothing, repeat clients and referrals. But a simple upsell can do that too. So think about if you're a massage therapist and you offer aromatherapy for an extra $10, or maybe you offer a hot stone upgrade for an extra $25. Boom, instant upgrade, instant cash infusion without having to do a whole lot extra. You buy the stones once, they probably pay for themselves within the first couple of massages. The same with the essential oils. Now, think about if you were to tell them that they should come back every 2 months instead of once a quarter, right? That doubles your sales just from them being there. For that person, that doubles. So if you could get 10 people to come every other month because you're helping them work through this stress and build up and tension that they're carrying on, that's giving them migraines, and they're getting relief from your massages, yeah, hell yeah, they're going to show up every other month. It's not even like a big, it's not a huge investment for them, but that makes such a huge difference for the massage therapist. And they're able to say it in a way that it's not any major push, it's not any sort of sleaze. When they're presenting it, it's just simply like, hey, if you're getting good results from coming every quarter, if you came every other month, which is, still doable, still fits into their calendar, you would feel so much better, so much faster. Done. So then I have this lovely, beautiful gal. I don't know if she's on or not. Her name is Kathleen, and her mom is also one of my clients. So she actually said, and I'm only just going to read this part here, Amie helped me so much to overcome my fears, to find my worth in just 2 days. The high vibe in that room of all these inspiring women helped me tremendously. I left this weekend feeling so confident about what it is I'm doing. I left there feeling so inspired. This girl is kicking butt, and I'm so happy that she is she's really shifted her mindset. She's doing amazing things right now. So we're going to lead into the next phase of this, and this is the 3 steps to magnetize clients to you. Connect, solve, and sale. And there could have technically been 4. Have you ever heard of Gary Vee? Yeah. Jab, 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 right hook, perhaps? I like to rephrase this, and somebody else actually came up with it as give, 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 ask. Give, 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 ask. Or value, 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 sale. So I put this picture in here just to see how old everybody was and see who actually knew what this picture was from E.T. And connection. Really show up and care. Speak to people and not at them. Nobody likes to be spoken at. People like to be spoken to and have that mutual respect. Serving. Part of connecting is serving. What is it that you do? What is the service that you provide? And even if you provide a product, what type of customer service are you providing with that product? Why are they buying it from you as opposed to getting it on Amazon? Okay? Knowing your niche, as discussed earlier, helps bring it all together. This helps so much here. If you aren't sure what to share, post, create, you may not be too clear on who your ideal client is or what they need to hear from you, how to speak to their desires. When you know who she is, you can speak directly to her and what she needs. So show up, tell them exactly that you are the expert, and provide the solution through your expertise. Your expertise comes from your experience. Again, going back to being a new mom, you may not be light years ahead of them, but you still have some tips and tricks and little things that you can do to save them time and heartache along the way and give them the best advice that's really going to help them. Connect with them so they know that you relate through your story. Show them that you are their lighthouse. Okay, I always like to say that you're the lighthouse and you can guide them safely to Island B without smashing into the rocks, or AKA hitting rock bottom. A lot of people like to say that you know, that you're the boat that gets them from island A to island B. I like to think about it as you being the lighthouse and you guide them there safely, but they're the boat. They actually have to be the ones to do the work. You can't lose 30 pounds for somebody, right? You can't overcome autoimmune disease for somebody. I can't grow your business for you because I am not a done-for-you coach, right? Meet them where they are. Speak to what your ideal client needs. Create the solution to their pain points. Provide the outcome. This is where you're going to create the I'll have what she's having. That's the outcome. But meeting them where they are. Okay, maybe they're not buying. If they aren't buying, maybe they aren't getting your signal very clearly. Maybe this little light over here is a little dim. Ever wonder, like when you look up at the sky, are you looking at a star or a satellite? Do you guys ever have problems telling the difference? Because I do. So you have to be super, 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 super clear that you are a lighthouse and you are showing them the way. When you are the strong lighthouse, they can see, right? They can see the rocks below, they can see your beacon, and they know that, you know, they know why you're there. They are very, very clear on why you're there. And once you have that clarity, you get to have ease, fun, and flow. Like everything you create, whether it's your posts on social media, the pictures you come up with, maybe you're a course creator like I am, those things just come to you so easily and with such inspiration. And then you can also charge what you're worth. No more being a free coach or feeling like you have to be everybody's free coach. That's where you're going to cause resentment towards your business. Resistance. Gotta love this. When I first started, I was so resistant to niche down. I was afraid that I was going to leave somebody out, or more realistically, I was afraid that I was going to leave lots of somebody's out. So you really, really want to have them thinking that you created every single post, every single course, every single video for them. The best compliment that I ever got on a post was, "Oh my God, I feel like this training, that this video was for me. Did you do this video for me?" That's what you want to create is, "Oh my God, she's speaking directly to me. Like, how did she know that about me?" That's what you want to do. You want to know and speak to those things. And chances are that person you're talking to is the old version of you. So I wasn't really sure that I knew how to be that specific or who at that point my ideal dream client really was. But I was also overcome by my perfectionism mindset, and I was really, really, really setting myself up for disaster. And really, I was totally obsessing on creating the perfect website, logo, sales page, etc., that I held myself back for a really long time, and I allowed myself to use perfectionism as my excuse to not take action. Can you see how you're running yourself ragged here? Okay, so step 2 is to solve. Clear communication. Are you able to clearly communicate your offer? This is where like lots of those vanity metrics come in. Lots of, thinking about, okay, maybe you got a lot of likes or comments and, oh, you're inspiring me. But then nobody signs up. How many of you hear about what an inspiration you are from a bunch of people who say no, they don't want to buy your stuff? It's because you're not speaking to the transformation. They know you have a product. They might even know what your product is, but you're not speaking to the transformation. So they're either not seeing the value because we're not speaking to that transformation, or they really aren't interested. 70% of the time, we're not displaying the value or the transformation. So being too broad or vague. Being too vague is not speaking to anybody's, is when you're not speaking to anybody's pain points. When you're just saying like, oh, I have a meal plan. Great, what the hell does that mean? You have a meal plan. Cool. But is that meal plan specifically designed to help new mothers get back to their pre-baby weight? in a healthy way while they're still nursing, people don't want to be intimidated either. So a lot of times people are turned off by or intimidated by perfection. So I know, one of the examples I like to use is you wouldn't go to the gym and work out with a 19-year-old who had six-pack abs and told you she actually didn't have to, meal prep or use a meal plan because she was naturally fit and thin. Yet here she is talking to you about how you're going to lose this baby weight that you've been struggling to get off. You're actually going to be like, oh, I've got to tell this 19-year-old girl that if I do jumping jacks, I pee my pants. That makes you uncomfortable. That makes you intimidated because she doesn't get it. That's where the value of your story comes in, is being able to relate to people who are like you, being able to relate to people who see that you're a real person and see that you have real stuff going on. But they actually also want to see that the actual transformation is there for them, not just the steps, how to get there. They want to see that, yes, you are the personal trainer who is going to help me get this baby weight off. You're going to do it. Yeah, that we're going to help you with your nutrition and we're going to help you with easy to do workouts. If you are that personal trainer and like, you're going to come in here, you're going to run for an hour on the treadmill every single day, and then we're going to do 45 minutes of weightlifting and this and this and this and this, and then we're going to count your macros, or you just instantly, like, even just saying that, I just get like glazed over, right? But if you tell me, all right, I'm going to take you through a few simple steps, we're going to get that baby weight off. It's going to take us about 8 weeks, 12 weeks, however long it's supposed to take, and I'm going to help you get there. I'm going to be there to support you every step of the way. That sounds a whole lot different than all these, marching orders, right? Because if you're like me, you don't actually want to be told what to do. So the people want to know what's in it for them, and it really has to be simple for them to understand. So almost like you're speaking to or giving instructions to a child. They want it to be very, very, very consumable. They want it to be easy to consume, bite-sized pieces. If you send somebody a 100-page workbook on how to lose 10 pounds, they're probably not going to read it. They have to see that you can guide them to their desired transformation. And this has to be very specific. So that can be a $10,000 a month. It can be losing 30 pounds of baby weight. It can be crossing the finish line for the marathon. They just want to see that you can get them there. You can be their lighthouse. You can be their guide. So be the expert consistently. Show up confidently as the expert. As you can see, your offer is more than just a course or product. They can ultimately buy from anyone. So why you? Why should they buy from you? That's what you're trying to position. They're going to buy from your vibe, your expertise, your proven systems, and eliminate all the competition. Show them they get to work with you, okay? Don't come at it like, oh, please, please, please work with me. Because a lot of times, those hey girl messages, they just seem and sound desperate, right? So position it like, you know what? You get to work with me, basically. Have that, and don't be cocky or whatever, but just have that mindset like, you know what? I've got the solution for you. I'm happy to help you. And if it's right for you, then awesome, let's get started. But having that confidence when you go into it, like, you know what? I've got this amazing thing and I'm happy to give it to you. But when you come from the place of, but I'm not going to force it on you, and you're detached from the outcome of whether or not they're going to say yes or no, it takes all that pressure off of them and off of you, okay? And it also helps to really create the I'll have what she's having effect. This helps build trust, right? Trust that you can deliver the transformation. Step 3, sell your stuff, get paid. But I know that's easier said than done. Do you feel like you're getting crickets? Do you feel like you're being pushy? What if instead of feeling like you were being pushy and only getting crickets in return, what if you started, using attraction marketing? Or maybe do you think you're already using attraction marketing? How would it feel? So like close your eyes for just a second. Visualize this. How would it feel, look, taste, sound, all that stuff, if you were magnetizing your clients to you? If you had created or and everything was perfectly in alignment, and people were coming up to you saying, I'll have what she's having. Sign me up. How do I pay? Take my money. So you have to be the expert and you have to close the sale. So often I see that people are giving and giving and giving. They're doing that jab, 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 but they're never giving the right hook. They're never asking for the sale. A business is for profit. Profit, aka sales. So sales are required for selling. Without sales, you have a very, very expensive hobby. Okay, so you want a business and not a hobby, but you keep getting objections or crickets. It's because likely they aren't seeing the value, because it isn't clear that the offer is going to solve their problem or address their pain point. Or there's a very small percentage, less than 30% typically, who typically can't afford it. And at that point, it's okay to detach and move on. Selling is icky. How many times have you guys said that? This has been a stigma since I can remember. Think about the used car salesman. That goes back like in our minds since we were kids, right? Every movie had a used car salesman and he was icky. They're slimy and they're sleazy and they're just wormy and they just, all they care about is closing the sale. You don't make any connection with them. They lack the connection element. They don't know your kids' names. They don't offer you popcorn. Like going to buy a car now is such a different experience than that visualization that we have of a quote unquote used car salesman. So this is also true now in the digital space because now you can order a car online. But when we connect, quote unquote, connect with other people and stay in touch with other people on social media, we are not really connecting. So we crave that connection, especially me. I'll be the first to admit it. I love in-person connection. I love doing VIP days, VIP weekends, going to events. I just love it. I crave it. A lot of you guys might feel much the same. So even in my construction career, we led everything based on our connection and relationships because those relationships were key. Sometimes we would get a project based on relationship and not price. Okay? So let's talk about relationships. You guys, we're going to wrap this up pretty quick, I promise. Let's talk about relationships. I often talk about how building up the connection is like dating. You have to go through, and a lot of the girls who are on here who may have been at the VIP weekend, they'll get a kick out of this because we talked about this there too. You have to grow and nurture your relationship. You likely won't get too far if you propose for marriage on the first date or if you ask for sex right out of the gate. Typically, you'll end up with, a drink thrown in your face. So dating is like that transitionary time where you get to see if you like each other, aka put this into your business. This is where you build know, like, and trust. Or you date for 12 years and you never get married and there's no proposal from either one of you. Why don't the sales close? I'm posting 5 times a day. Well, there's no call to action. There's no ask. A lot of times I see it's all that give, 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 and no ask. So many of you are taught to give, 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 coach for free. They'll eventually come around. Sometimes they just don't because, it's back to that old saying, why would they buy the cow if they can get the milk for free? Also, fear. When we go into a sales pitch from a place of fear, people sense that fear. Also, people are afraid to invest sometimes. People are afraid to get involved with something that is unknown or uncertain, or they're afraid to change their lifestyle. But we're afraid to ask. We're afraid to be salesy. We're afraid to look like that used car salesman. We think, what will other people think? What if they unfriend me? How many people on your friends list are you actually really friends with? Okay? Really let that sink in for a second. What if they say no? That's okay. What if they say no? No big deal. Next. Imposter syndrome. Why me? Why would they buy from me? There's a million other people out there who do this kind of thing or that kind of thing, or sell essential oils or sell shakes or offer fitness or yeah, that's true. That's true. But nobody can be you like you can be you. And that's where that connection comes into place. So purposeful posts. Posting with a purpose less often is better than a cheesy meme with zero meanings, right? Because we're taught, post 3 to 5 times a day just so that you can keep the algorithm going. Ugh. That's just going to clog up your newsfeed with a bunch of with a bunch of irrelevant crap that's going to cause congestion around your actual purposeful posts, right? So the random unintentional posts can actually get in the way, even in the algorithm, of your well-intended posts. So even if you have a quote or a meme or something, tell us why you're posting it. Tell us why you thought it was hilarious. Tell us what it meant to you. Tell us why it made you cry. So instead, create demand. Eliminate the objections. It's okay to speak openly about some objections you hear, maybe somebody has told you that your organization is a pyramid scheme. Go ahead and do a post about how your company is actually not a pyramid scheme. That should help eliminate some of the objections from some of the people who are kind of standing offset a little bit, who haven't actually the guts to come forward and tell you, that's my only hesitation is I'm worried it's a pyramid scheme. But if you come out straight up and say it's not a pyramid scheme, it helps eliminate that objection for them. That's just one example, because I use that because I know so many of you guys probably hear that. And then you inspire them to take action of their own. Sales can feel easy, fun, and exciting for both parties. Paying clients almost always show up more because they have some skin in the game, okay? So when you're giving away free coaching, think to yourself, how many of you guys are health coaches? You give away free advice, maybe it's something like a squat challenge. A couple people might do it for a couple days, but it was free. They have no skin in the game. They have no actual leverage to have to show up, right? But if they had paid for that, that gives them that skin in the game to show up. The last few big investments that I made were easy. So this year, in January, I invested $20,000 into one of my coaches. And then a couple weeks ago, I invested another $9,000, I think it ends up being, into my other coach. I never looked at the sales page. I didn't need to, because I knew, based on my connection with them, based on their expertise, because I had already had an established connection with them, and based on how excited I was to utilize their expertise and their vibe and all of that, I just said yes. Don't get me wrong. It was still super scary, but I still said yes because I was excited to grow myself and grow my business. All right, so how does this work for some people and not me? That's probably what you're asking yourself. So including the coaches that I just personally hired, they were specific. Both of them would tell somebody, no, I'm not going to work with you. You're not ready to work with me at this level. They're very clear on who they help and who they don't help. So if they had come right out and said that they don't help somebody and I fit into that mold of somebody who they don't help, we would have never even had the conversation about how I could work with them. So being specific sometimes on who you don't help can also get you very specific and niched down. But they also had an offer that I needed. And they told me about this offer. And we both felt good about, a 5-figure transaction. Yeah. Like I said, it was still scary. Don't worry, I don't have any 5-figure transactions for you guys. So talking about the hamster wheel. Are you feeling like you're just still stuck in that hamster wheel? You're going and going and going and going. You feel like you're doing all the things, but you're not really gaining any ground. What you need are strategies that work. Proven strategies that are working not only for me, but for my clients, for my peers, and for, my coaches who are well beyond me in the income. This is from one of my clients who I worked with one-on-one, and she told me that she quadrupled her income so we had a 3-month package. In 2 months, she quadrupled her income. Is that insane or what? And she actually had has a brick and mortar business. So goals, going back to the goals that you guys wrote down earlier, based on what you're doing now, are you going to achieve the goal you wrote down earlier? Okay, I get it. If you had a step-by-step strategy, accountability, guidance, and an ironclad confidence, will you be able to reach those goals now? So if you take what you're doing now, add in step-by-step strategy, accountability, guidance, and an ironclad confidence, would you be able to get to those goals? I want you to know that I wholeheartedly believe that everything I just taught you today will get you closer. All of these components of connecting and solving and sharing will help you start selling in a way that feels good to you. Overcoming the image in your mind of a salesman, right? So I picked these people because these are the people that live in your mind, if you've ever seen Inside Out, if you guys are moms. And then decide. Deciding could actually really be the fourth component. You can decide to keep YouTubing your way through and filling out your freebie, or filling up your freebie graveyard, aka your inbox, or I'm happy to invite you guys. Enrollment is now open to how you guys can finally step into your inner sales ninja with total ease, freedom, and fun. Yes, it can be fun. I probably have too much fun, and how you can 5x your sales with complete confidence in 12 weeks or less with no hey girl messages. Did you ever think to yourself, if only I could get more sales, everything would be different? Do you feel sick of feeling like you're stuck when it comes to selling? Why does it seem so natural for other people to sell except me? Why does it have to feel so sleazy and icky? The followers you have consider you to be a quote-unquote inspiration, but are not converted into paying clients. You don't want to feel pushy. Look, I get that. You don't want to feel like you're spinning your wheels and on the fast track to burnout or frustration, and you're questioning if it's really for you. How many of you guys are questioning if your business is really for you because you've been in that hamster wheel for so long? You worry what other people will think about when you sell to them. Let me guess, you've been downloading every free workbook, checklist, and quote-unquote secret sauce trying to figure out what the fuck to do with all of these different pieces. You've been longing to have the daily grind of your job and leave it behind. And sometimes you talk about your job like it's a dirty little 4-letter word. Feeling a bit alone since the team of people you thought would be your biggest cheerleaders are the ones who are the least supportive. But you're ready to up-level your vibe, your confidence, and your belief in yourself and learn how to follow the path of those big, amazing dreams, some of which you wrote down earlier. You're wishing that you could figure out how to have people reach out to you and actually jump fast at the chance to work with you. What if you could change all of this and become a confident sales ninja? And if you want to be a unicorn instead of a ninja, you can. What exactly does this look like? Girl, I got you. 3 full months of coaching specifically around confidence and sales strategy using my proven techniques, monthly group coaching calls via Zoom where we can actually speak to each other and interact, not just in Facebook group where you're trying to type it out and make me understand what the heck you're talking about. 12 plus sales modules on all the things sales to convert you into a total sales ninja. Unlimited Facebook group support for all 12 weeks. 3 months access to the exclusive Goal Getter Girl Society where you will also have an additional coaching call with me expert trainings, which will have social media reviews and audits. So you make sure that you are maximizing every part of your social media, from your bio to the photos you're posting, everything. Expert website content review. If you have a website, you're going to want to have this review to make sure you have absolutely the best content on there to convert sales. Sales page and sales copy review. This is with my own sales copywriter. This is a total value of over $7,000. Module 1, just to give you guys a quick breakdown. Module 1 is basically the sales foundation. So it's going to be helping you discover the best method for you that feels good, because you guys, there are a lot of different methods out there for selling, including Hey Girl messages. So we're going to cover all of the different types so that you can personally feel what's best for you, because ultimately this is something that really nobody talks about. And I want you guys to feel like you have options and going into it with confidence, okay? I want you guys to know the best approach for you. I want you guys to know what feels good to you. So I'm going to give you guys all of those things and let you choose what feels good, okay? Have you ever done sales calls before and said like that you just weren't sure about, weren't sure about it going in? And a lot of times the common, trying to think of the right word. A lot of times people teach you guys like that pressuring kind of sales approach that kind of is pushy into getting you guys to close a sale. I want you guys to learn how to navigate the conversation in a way that feels good and light for not just you, but for your prospect on the other end of the call as well. So that way they're like, oh, this was light, this was easy, this was low pressure. And then they want to say yes. They want to say yes. Doesn't that sound good? Also, the same thing, overcoming objections. I want you guys to know the difference between I can't afford it, and we're going to talk about all of the things like pre-screening and really, really going into these things so that way you can navigate these conversations too without trying to convince somebody that they should work with you. I don't believe in pressuring or convincing people that they need to work with you. I believe that you can strategically lay out what you're doing and help people kind of like with the BFF method and let them know that, you know, if they're just coming from a place of fear, that you get them and you guys can overcome that fear, but never in a pushy way. The Pitch Perfect workshop. I want you guys to have access to being able to create the perfect pitch so you can close your sales with ease, okay? Most people get super nervous about doing a pitch, and a pitch is basically just your sales offer. So when you talk about like how to work with you, that can sometimes take on a whole new life, and it can just give you this pressure and this fear and these feelings, right? But in this module, I'm going to talk to you guys about how to transition from, you know, just a regular normal conversation into a sales conversation. And it's going to feel, it might even feel a bit like magic, how you can just take it from connecting into them saying like, yeah, I'll have what she's having. Module 4, this is where we're going to talk about creating your signature offer. This is a big deal. So your signature offer ultimately is going to be that thing that you become known for. You know, you think about somebody like Marie Forleo. She is known for B School. That is her signature offer. She has other things that you can buy. You know, she has a copywriting thing. She has a bunch of other stuff. But B School is her signature offer. I am going to teach you guys how to create your signature offer. And don't worry, if you're part of an MLM, I've got you covered. Module 5, develop the confident mindset of a sales ninja. You guys, this is important. You have to be confident in what you sell, and you have to come at things with confidence. Think about if you went to get your hair cut from somebody who was like, I'm not really sure if I can do that. But you know what? Sit down, we'll wash you up, we'll get you, we'll just give it a try. you'd be like, I don't think so. So you want somebody to be like, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, no problem. What we'll do is da 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 da, and you'll come out looking beautiful. Just like you wouldn't go to a dentist to get plastic surgery on any other part of your body, right? It just doesn't make sense. So you want to confidently show up as the expert because let's face it, confidence sells, right? So the only way to become confident is to really start thinking like that confident sales ninja, that future version of you. We're also going to go through funnels and automation because it is so important to create a business that works for you, even when Mercury is in retrograde. We're going to create a custom launch plan and marketing strategy. So that way you go into it having a plan. You never go into it blindly feeling like you are just doing those 3 to 5 posts a day. Then we're going to have 3 modules, 3 separate modules over 3 separate weeks. And this is something that is actually going to be packaged and sold separately later. Confident challenges. This is where we're going to learn how to monetize your free communities. That's your Facebook groups, your stories, your email list, and how you can do a challenge to convert these people, build up that know, like, and trust, show them that value, and then do that give, ask, and ask them to sell. These work like magic. We're also going to talk about time management and overcoming overwhelm. I know that so much of this stuff can be so overwhelming, and that's why I've broken it down into weekly modules so that you don't feel like you have to learn it all in one day. This is for you if you're ready to get busy creating and crafting your very own unique marketing strategy and offer for a business that feels, well, effortless because it's working for you. Get rid of the should-dos and the stories that you've been telling yourself about what success looks like and go create your own success. Create profitable offers, including a signature offer that lights your soul on fire and feels fun and amazing. Create the I'll have what she's having effect to create or to attract your ideal dream clients to you. Step into that girl that you see yourself as in your vision and daydreams, the girl who you saw yourself becoming when you said yes to this opportunity, when you started your business. Creating a belief and an unshakable why so strong that no one can derail your confidence or movement. Selling from a place of honesty, integrity, and sharing in a way that feels so damn good. And it gets to be fun too. Owning your worth and overcoming guilt and shaming so you can stop blocking your dream clients from hiring you and becoming the queen of your empire. Sounds pretty good, right? This is not for you, and I say this with love, if you are Chicken Little and you think the sky is always falling, because you must be able to get out of your own way when needed. This is not for the woman who refuses to try something new and challenge herself to actually reach her dreams. This is not for the woman who doesn't really want to step into the identity of the person who she most desires to be, or the woman who is not going to do the work and implement the learning. This is for serious bosses only, ready to show up. Anyone who's offended by the occasional cuss word also, because sometimes we cuss a little. All right, so let's talk about the investment for the Confident Sales Academy, which is the 12-week mastermind. This is valued at over $7,000. The program is only $1,297 or 4 payments of $397. But only for you guys, I have this super awesome coupon code that brings the price down to $997. This is for the next 48 hours only. So that's a huge, huge savings. So when you guys go to, and I will give you guys the link, I will put it right now into the chat box. It's amiepederson.podia.com/CSA, where you can get more information. Enter in this code Masterclass, and it will take that $300 right off the sales price. But wait, there's more. There are so many bonuses. We have a bunch of bonuses, including expert trainings in Podia, Tailwind, Honeybook. We also have my copywriter who's done a training for us on how to create a beautiful sales page. Everything you need to put into a sales page, you'll see all of those bonuses in there. But I promised you guys something for hanging out with me for so long. And it is my foundations workshop. This is where we are going to dive into who is your niche, your ideal client. There are 2 modules and 2 workbooks. One of them is about who your ideal client is, and it's all about you, who you want to work with. The other one, it's all about them, who they are, and you know why you want to work with them and what you solve for them. You know, I even have you go as far as to getting a picture of her off the internet, right? Giving her a name. I know that sounds silly, but once you get inside, you'll understand. That is my gift to you guys, absolutely free, just for participating in this workshop today. And that's everything, you guys. So if you guys have any questions, I am going to be working on fixing my technical difficulties that I was having over at Active Campaign. But I would love to talk to you guys. If you have any questions, I'll stop the recording and we'll get back on video. And I would love to answer those questions for you guys. Thank you so much thank you guys for spending way longer than I thought that we would be spending.